Most people quit when they fail once. But you fail two and you're, I'm done. I'm going back to doing something else and not going down that road. And it's all because you have failed to realize that you need to work longer, harder, more time, effort, energy to get what you want than you think it would take. Welcome to the Heartland Multifamily Show, the shorter, more profitable path to multifamily ownership and investing.
What's going on, Uncle Darin? How are you?
Hey, I'm doing pretty good. Before we get into the philosophy of Uncle Darin, your Uncle Darin, not you specifically, but your Uncle Darin in Iowa, your Uncle Darin from Iowa. Let's give everybody just a quick idea of what we do and what we cover and what this is all about. Some may not be up to date with what Uncle Darin is all about, so let's talk about it just for a second.
Yeah, originally I didn't even know you had a segment before called Uncle Darin.
Yeah, a lot of people don't, and we'll be doing it more and more. But so think of it this way: those watching and listening, think of me as your old Uncle Darin from Iowa. I'm like the guy you call, the guy you contact, the guy you email when you need like life advice. You got something that's come up. You need a pragmatic thought process to what you're going through, what you're frustrated with, what's happening. And so, gee whiz, who do you call? You call Uncle Darin. That's the way a lot of people kind of view me and see me, as like their Uncle Darin from Iowa when it comes to some of those big decisions sometimes that they're trying to make. And so they want to run things by me, get my opinion on it, get my feedback. So they call the gray beard, hair falling out guy that's been around a lot and seen a lot. So that's what Uncle Darin's all about.
Yeah, and we hope to bring more of these, because I think it's helpful for everybody, even outside of just people that like real estate. So
yeah, and we don't cover real estate during this. It's really about getting feedback from your old Uncle Darin on what's going on in your life, what's happening, based on being on this planet now going on 60 years and everything that I've been involved in from A to Z, and giving you the feedback that in many cases you probably damn well need. So,
and I must mention, no BS feedback.
There is no BS feedback.
And I've been on the butt end of that before.
When it comes to me, you've seen that live and in person, haven't you?
I don't like it, but I accept it.
Awesome. So let's jump into today's topic, Trot, because and this is something that you've been around when I've had this discussion with folks too, and I think it's a good one, and it has to do with not getting what you want. Why don't I have what I want, or why don't I have blank? Why don't I have blank? And a lot of times it's why don't I have blank yet? Why don't I have the success I want yet? Why don't I have the six-packs abs yet? Why don't I have the $1 billion yet? Why don't I have the lady of my dreams, the man of my dreams yet? Why don't I have the car, boat, house, whatever it is? Why don't I have it yet? And it's one way, shape, or form. I have this conversation with a lot of people. And by the way, at least once or twice a week, I'm talking to somebody about this, or I'm involved in some kind of maybe a Zoom call or something where we're having this conversation. So let's talk about it, Trot. I'm going to give you, and you know this from like osmosis, being around me a lot, and I'm going to give it to you, viewers and listeners, why you don't have what you think you should have. And there's two reasons. There's two main reasons why. And I know you're going to have some feedback on reason number one. Reason number one is on why you don't have what you think you should have. Pretty simple, and you're not going to like it. But it is the reason, one of the reasons. And it's because you just haven't put in enough time, effort, and energy yet to get it. That's the reason. And a lot of you don't like hearing that. A lot of you don't think it should take the amount of time, effort, and energy that it's taking you to get what you want. A lot of you don't like that you've had to go through 5, 6, 8 failures so far in getting what you want in some area or more than one area of your life. You don't like hearing that because you think arrogantly that it shouldn't take you that long because you're pretty smart. You're pretty you have a pretty high opinion of yourself where you don't think it should take you this amount of time, effort, energy, and work to get what you think you should have. And so you're frustrated and you're angry by it. How come I don't have it yet? And that's the answer. It takes a lot more to get what you really, really want than you think it should take. That's it. It's simple, but most people don't like to hear that. Mainly because they're too arrogant to think that it shouldn't take me that long to get that or be able to do. I should be able to do it. And that's why so many people, when they set goals, targets, they fall short of them and they give up. Okay, because they have this thought process of, well, it shouldn't take me this long to, it's only going to take me this long to do this. And then when the shit gets hard, you fail once, twice. Most people quit when they fail once. But you fail two, you're, I'm done. I'm going back to doing something else and not going down that road. And it's all because you have failed to realize that you need to work longer, harder, more time, effort, energy to get what you want than you think it would take. That's reason number one. Trot, you got any questions regarding that?
Yeah, so when somebody says yet, how much of the part yet is because they themselves think they should be at point B, or how much of it is, hey, the guy next door is 10 years younger than me and he's already surpassed me. So what, you know what I'm trying to say?
Yeah, so to answer that last one, everybody's got a different kind of skill set that allows them to be better or worse than everybody else at that skill set. So let me use an analogy, okay, because it might be confusing. So you and I know people that we know personally. They could go out and run a marathon today.
Yes.
If you would say, hey, we're running a marathon, go.
Without training for
Without training for it. Me, I got to train 8 to 10 weeks to run a damn marathon.
You might need a wheelchair.
Or like longer.
Yeah.
Okay? How is that possible? They're just gifted in that way. Okay? Professional sports, while we're on like kind of sports. There are people that are just gifted in that way where they do things that are seem almost humanly impossible because they're gifted that way. So here's like another quick analogy. Golf. You're a big golfer. Do you think you could ever be as good as Tiger Woods?
No.
No. And part of that is because Tiger's pretty damn good. He's gifted genetically, gifted intrinsically to be a good golfer, right? So there's that part of it too. That's why there's really good people and really people that aren't so good. And that's why you and I could work day in and day out. We're really probably not ever going to get to be as good as Tiger. But will we get close?
Potentially.
We could, yeah. We can get pretty damn close. So that's like part one of your answer is that time frame is kind of sped up by that and maybe even slowed down by that. But in either case, if you're not there yet, you just haven't done enough to get there yet. That's just part of it. That's just part of it. And for some, that time frame might be, the guy across the guy that owns the similar kind of business that's doing a lot more than you're doing, the guy that's lifting more weight than you're lifting, the person that's running the marathon faster than you're running. A lot of it has to do with what they've done up to this point. Maybe they've done more than you. Okay? Or maybe the guy that can run the marathon today without training for it. I mean, he may be 6'2", 180 pounds, and was a great athlete in high school and can just go do that kind of stuff. So there is that part of it. Sure. Has an impact on how long it takes to get where you want to get, the target you want to hit, the person you want to be. That's just part of it. But the answer always comes back to, if you're not there yet, it's because you just haven't done enough yet. That's just the simple answer. But we tend to think, well, wait a minute, I've already done this or that, and I feel like I should already have. No, it's not it. You just need to put more into it. And by the way, that's the case no matter how you get to where you're going. So in other words, I still have to, at my age, do a lot of time, effort, and energy spending to get where I need to get to. Even though, I've got lots of track record experience. I've been there, I've done that. I still got to do it. Since I've done it, it's not like, oh, I don't have to do that anymore. No, you still got to do it. You still got to do it.
So what's the second point?
Second point. People aren't going to like this either, but it's true. You don't get what you want when you're ready. So, you and I, there's things that we want and we're ready for them yesterday, right?
Right.
You and I could come up with a list. Here's the things I want in my life. Here's the things you want in your life. Here's the things you want in your life. You could come up with the list. And when are you ready for it?
Right now.
Yesterday.
Right.
All right, come on. And again, we kind of arrogantly think, well, I should have this. Okay. But here's like the little secret. The universe doesn't give you what you deserve until the universe is ready to give it to you. That could be tomorrow. That'd be nice.
Yeah.
That could be a year from now. That could be 5 years from now.
Well, and I think it could even be before you think you're ready, too.
That's right. It could happen sooner than you think. That could happen. It's rare.
Right.
But yeah, that could happen. And so the universe isn't ready to give you what you want until the universe is ready to give it to you, because you're always ready for it anyway. And the universe knows that's the case. And so this isn't look, this is coming from the gray-beard Uncle Iowa guy when I'm talking about this, okay? This isn't some airy-fairy thing. This isn't some, woo-woo kind of thing. It is fact. The universe, when it's ready, you'll get it. You'll get it. And the universe knows that you're ready for it. And it doesn't matter, again, whatever it is. Because here's the thing to always keep in mind. If things happened when we wanted them to, the way we wanted them to, we'd all be walking around as billionaires with six-pack abs right now. We'd all have it. We'd all have what we want. But that's not how the universe works. The universe gives it to you when the universe is ready, not when you're ready. So those two things, try those two things. And then I'll be interested to get your takeaways from this. The two things, the reason why you don't have what you want is, number one, hate to say it, but it's true. You haven't put in enough time, effort, and energy to get it yet. That's the deal. That's number one. Number two is the universe isn't ready to give it to you yet. And it'll happen when the universe is ready, not when you're ready. And as long as you understand those two things, does that alleviate your frustration? No, it doesn't make it totally go away. Does that alleviate any stress or any feelings of maybe feeling overwhelmed? No, those don't go away. But does it make it now more worthwhile to know, as you're experiencing those things, that is part of the process? Yeah. And as long as you know that's part of the process, that in and of itself will tend to speed things up for you to get you to where and get what you think you feel you want and deserve.
Right.
So try any last questions or feedback regarding those two things that everybody, when they ask Uncle Darin, how come I don't have what I want yet? That's the answer they get. Those two things. Any questions or feedback regarding those two answers?
Yeah, it's interesting when you say the universe kind of controls it, because it doesn't change the fact that you have to be ready and working towards it. It's not just going to come out of nowhere. You're not going to be walking down the street and
that's a great question.
And you're going to get a Porsche.
It's not going to come out of nowhere. And here's another thing that's like a really big mistake. I'm glad you brought it up. It's a big mistake, and I'll just end with this. It's like the caveat. There are books, podcasts, hell, there are courses that are all about what they call manifestation. And there's nothing wrong with manifestation, but don't ever think that all you have to do is think something and it will happen in your life. And I know you're kind of laughing, but a lot of people, all I got to do is sit back and think more thoughts of the Porsche I want. Think about it more. Dream about it more. Think about it. If I think about it, it'll appear. This isn't magic. This isn't magic, folks. That doesn't happen. That doesn't. Is it good to have an idea and an image in your mind of what you want? And sure, of course it does. That's like almost kind of mandatory. But don't ever think that all you got to do is consistently think about it. Because you and I could sit back here in the corner and think Porsches and big boats all we want. They're never going to show up. But a lot of people think that's all you got to do. Caveat. That ain't it. Don't go down that road. It's, as I said, it's not that easy. It ain't that easy. So I'm glad you brought that up.
Right.
Well, Trot, thank you for joining me on this Uncle Darin episode on why you don't have what you want yet. I appreciate you being here, appreciate your questions and your feedback, and I appreciate you. So stay tuned for our next Uncle Darin episode. We'll see you later. Take care. Bye-bye.